Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Last Cloudia. Today we're going to go ahead and just do a brief discussion on the collab overall. Did this particular collab meet expectations? Now, anytime that I go over thoughts on a collab, it's kind of divided into two different sections, I'll say. You have collabs for anime and you have collabs for video games. The reason that I'm going to be judging them separately is because with video games, the devs typically do a different approach. With video games, it's about music, it's about the bosses, it's about the level design, stuff like that. Whereas with anime collabs, it's more about the story than anything else. So that's why when I critique these things, I'm only critiquing based off of past patterns or templates that they typically use, for this type of thing. Being someone that's been playing since the beginning, I've seen pretty much it. I've seen it all more or less. So I figured, why not kind of give some thoughts, maybe a little bit of feedback to let them know how they're doing overall. Now, last time I kind of discussed something like this, which was the last one with Full Metal Alchemist. Obviously, my impression was not the highest. So that's the thing. But the big question here is, how did the Nier collab do? Well, taking a look at the event in general, I want to say it's pretty cool that they did give us a new unit, 9S, and I actually think he's good. I haven't really talked about him much, but overall, I think he's really, really good for anyone that likes someone that can do status ailments. He's kind of a jack of all trades when it comes to debuffing or being a saboteur, I should say, because not only does he have weak to more or less, lower their attribute resistance, but he also comes with a new Lamelf to try to help with doing status elements, which he's kind of similar to Logia or V. So if you don't have either one of those, at least you have this unit that you literally get for free, and it's easy to max them out. I don't see why you would not take the time to do it. It's a good introduction to anyone that doesn't have V or Logia. You'll be able to see that character and appreciate him. I'm not going to go into like his full stats or anything, but I definitely give 9S my seal of approval. Another thing that I'm going to say before I give my overall thoughts is I'm a little surprised that this came so soon. Keep in mind that we just had Full Metal Alchemist maybe a month prior to this collab because it was Full Metal Alchemist, then the summer swimsuit thing, and then straight to this collab. So if you would have told me, yeah, we're about to get a collab right after a summer thing, I would have put money on it that you'd have been wrong, and I would have been wrong and lost some money. Because typically when it comes to collabs, it's about maybe about 3 or 4 months before another collab comes out, sometimes even longer. So the fact that it came out so soon was a surprise to me for sure. They're definitely changing things up a bit. Not sure how I feel about it, if it's good or bad. It's just really hard to judge that. So when the collab first dropped, we got the desert landing, normal and hard. So basically, it was more just of an introduction. You got to see a cutscene when you got to fight the boss and all that, which I actually thought was pretty cool. Not gonna lie, I thought it was pretty cool. The levels in general are standard, except when you get to the boss stage, which I'll say is fine. I'll say that not Full Metal Alchemist. I'll say that DMC and Secret of Mana did better as far as the level design because all of the levels had a custom design, not just the bosses. So that's one thing that the other two video game collabs have over this one is that in this one you only get different level designs with the actual boss fight. Now, when you go into week two, you have Lab of Madness on normal and hard. They even added a fishing event, which I suggest go ahead and do it. It's just a free way to get, some mill coins. The trading space for the mill coins is important because this is where you can get prisms for whatever character you have. The event tickets, which I strongly recommend getting a bunch of those too. It's an easy way to get 100% ether reward just by constantly getting these. I think that's a really good thing to do. And you can also get some equipment as well. So, the fact that you're getting just a lot of good stuff makes this a really, really good shop in general. So, just kind of wanted to bring that up. But yeah, we had the fishing, we had the Lab of Madness, and also you do have access to the extra challenges as well. I forgot to mention that in the beginning. So you have a way to grind out the shards for whichever character you pulled, or just 9S in general if you didn't pull any of the other characters. I will say that the way that they did this was okay. You know, you have a way to grind souls, but I don't know if this is a problem or not, but if you want to take advantage of getting more faster, you had to do multiplayer because with multiplayer, if you host a room, you get 25 souls right off the bat, plus whatever else you get from the other people that join, which I think is a good thing in general. The only downside is the fact that the multiplayer is not 100% compatible with all devices. Obviously, us Android users have been struggling, but I will say that my experience with the multiplayer in the actual collab itself, I haven't really had any issues. I haven't had any crashes. The only time that I have crashes is during like I guess the ones where you can get mega clusters and stuff like that, like the general grinding stages for that and the limit breaker stuff. Those I get crashes about maybe 20% of the time. But as far as for the collab, I don't know if it's built or coded differently, but I haven't had any issues with that. So I'm hoping that other Android users have had the good experience that I've had as far as the multiplayer for collab. But it is basically the best way to get unit shards if you're really trying to max out their boards or max out their SC and all that stuff. So, highly recommend doing that. I think that was a really good addition. So, kudos to them. The mission rewards were pretty good too. I think on week 3 or maybe even week 2, we got like mega clusters, obviously some unit prisms. Like I said, lots of good stuff. So, like I said, they did really good on the prizes. They basically met expectations there. Uh, and in week 3, the one for me that was the most interesting, Machine Life Forms Assault. So you have normal difficulty and nightmare difficulty. Normal is just kind of to get you started, to get an idea of what you're going to be up against. And if you want to go for an actual ranking, you do the nightmare one. I want to say that I absolutely love the actual ranking here, the event for it, I should say. It's a 3-party battle system, like I discussed for the UR Arc Vaz that you can get through the 3-party battle you can do there. This is pretty much the same thing. You have a 3-party battle to deal with some waves, a few bosses, and each team has to get a victory. I love this. I think this is the best way to kind of use multiple characters, especially for us who've been playing since the beginning. We get to actually put multiple characters, multiple equipments together to kind of just test how well we can put different teams together, how well we can spread our equipment. It's just really, really nice. So of course you're going to get different results depending on what you have. Like for me, for example, I don't have any of the spells like Honey Elixir or Winry's Apple Pie, so I have to use different strats to try to get the best times. I'm not going to go over my strats here, just in case I actually do well. We'll see how that works out. But I think that the fact that depending on what your account is, everybody's going to have different ways of getting good times. And I love that. I love being able to brainstorm and just have fun with this event. Me and a really, really good friend of mine have been kind of going back and forth on how to get the best time on here. So as far as the time trial for the ranking, they definitely exceeded expectations there. So I'm really, really happy to see that. So all in all, I'll say that this particular collab definitely exceeded expectations. They did a really good job. Like I said, they did all the things that you would expect as far as level design specifically for bosses. They had the bosses from the game itself. They had the music from the game itself, or at least I assume. I haven't actually played the Nier stuff, but I'm assuming that they did the same thing. I haven't heard anyone say otherwise. Of course, and then you could do the unit shards, unit prisms to get those characters pretty easily if you pull them. So they did a good job there. They incorporated multiplayer. They incorporated fishing. And then, of course, they added the 3-party battle system for ranking. Like, they just did a fantastic job with this collab. I am very, very pleased with it. Like I said, if I was to be a nitpicker, the only thing I criticized was the thing I said earlier about the level designs for the non-boss waves. I feel like, they could have done something. But again, I'm just being nitpicky there. That's the only thing that both DMC and secretive mana have over this particular collab. Other than that, it's been, I'd say, about pretty even across the board. The only thing that pushes this and DMC above was kind of like the ranking stuff, because I think with DMC we also had a time trial with a different type of format, but it was pretty cool too. So, I say that this and DMC are pretty like even. They're like head to head here as far as how good they were. But overall, this is a really good collab. I think the devs did a great job. I am more than happy with what they did here. And I hope that with video game collabs, they can continue to do stuff similar to this and surprise us with new stuff that just makes things even better. So, yeah, very, very happy about that. And, if there's anything that I didn't mention that, you think, well, there's another thing that maybe you could have criticized, or maybe there was something else good that I didn't think of, feel free to throw it in the comments. Like I said, this video is specifically just to talk about how I felt about the collab itself. And obviously, I don't talk about the characters too much because it's just a standard that collab characters are good anyway. So, there's not much to discuss other than my first impressions. I guess one thing that I will say, for a free unit, they did a lot better here than they did with Full Metal Alchemist. Because the Full Metal Alchemist unit, Alphonse, he's okay. Like, I think, a good tank is actually good to have. And I think if you were to build him up, he would be good as your, like, arena tank if you don't have Rudo or Kyle. And that's pretty much it. I mean, he does fill a role, but I do feel like overall 9S is the character that appealed to me more, that I wanted to build more than Alphonse. So I think that they did a good job here on the free that they gave. So I know a lot of people were disappointed in Alphonse. I was okay. I haven't really done much with Alphonse, but I'm okay with him. But I think that the choice they made here for the free unit was actually a lot better as well. But that's going to be pretty much it for this video. Again, oh, actually, well, hold on. One more thing I forgot to tell you. The reason I was saying a while back that you should at least try to go for the ranking, the prizes are really, really good. If you get first place, which I'm not, pretty sure Dr. Lucas Who is probably going to be number one, and kudos to him. He's really, really good and has all the good stuff. But you get 5,000 crystals, which they don't typically give crystals, I think. I could be wrong on that, but this is a lot more crystals than I think they've ever given out. 300 Motor Souls is good. Of course, the units souls are okay. I mean, you should be able to easily max them without this, so I don't know if this was really necessary. The 3UR Stardust is good. The Radiances, you get the Radiance of the World, Foreign Radiance, and Visionary times 2. That's really, really good. That's some rare stuff. So that's for being number one. Now, obviously, most players aren't going to have a chance at this. So if I'm going to be realistic, we'll go down to about, we'll say the top 50. A lot of people like myself who have been playing since the beginning are going to be going for top 50. So for people like us, you're still getting about 2,000 crystals, which is still pretty good. It's not a multi, but you know what? We're pretty close. 100 Mother Souls is always good to have. SSR Stardust are good to have too. So those are things to look forward to. And then anything beyond rank 50, I think everyone probably has a chance. Even if you're a somewhat new account, you have a chance to get to, let's say, at least the top 500, I'll say. So if you get to the top 500, if you try hard enough, you'll get 1,000 crystals, which is actually still pretty good. The way that you normally get 1,000 crystals in general is leveling a unit to 100. That's like the best thing about it. But, 1,000 crystals is still not bad for being top 500. You do get at least one SSR Stardust, which is good to have as well. And 50 Mother Souls is actually not bad too. So I do think at least trying to get a ranking is a good idea because of the fact that, first off, it doesn't take orbs to do this, so you can retry as much as you want without any cost to you, except maybe time. That's about it. And if you like the game enough, you'll want to put time into it. But like I said, just getting like 1,000 crystals and one SSR Stardust is good enough. Heck, even if you get the top 1,000, you're still getting 1,000 crystals. You're still getting 50 Mother Souls, and you're still getting one SSR Stardust. The only thing that you're losing is a few souls, which again, that shouldn't matter. You should be able to get all the souls you need without this whole ranking thing. I guess that's the other thing I'm going to criticize. Because of how easy it is to get unit souls, I don't even know if this should even been a part of the prize pool. They probably could have done with maybe giving us some mega clusters. I think that would have been better than doing like, like for example, you get top 1,000, you get one of each mega cluster, and then top 500, and probably I guess between 50 and 1,000, you get like one, and if you get like top 50, you get two, and if you're in the top 10, you would get like three, kind of a thing of each like mega cluster, something of that nature. I think that would have been better than doing the unit souls. In past events, it made sense because you didn't have the ability to farm unit souls. But now that we can farm them pretty easily, I think you can give out mega clusters. But again, I'm not. That's me being nitpicky. Like I said, the prizes here are a lot better than we typically get for the rankings that we have. So I definitely appreciate the fact that they're providing us more encouragement, more initiative to try this, or more incentive. There you go, to try this. So again, do the best you can. If it's gonna take you 10 minutes, that's fine. You're still gonna get some good, prizes to go for. So, and I'll go ahead and just do a quick shout out to the top 10, just so you can see who they are. And that is definitely not me. So we got. Oh wow, Luke is actually not number one. Wait a minute. All right, rank 5 person. That's probably a cheater. I might be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But for someone with only rank 5 to have like the best time, that's a red flag. And it's probably a character with no stats and no equipment. I'm a little. I don't know I don't know about that. I think that Luke's probably the only legit top player as far as like for that time. I don't think this booth person, and I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I'm not buying it. Rank 5 to be number one, I don't know. But yeah, but Luke and Legend and everybody else, under him, these seem pretty legit for the times for the top 10. So, congrats to and I'll put the 11 person here because I'm pretty sure that from 11 to 2, I would say, actually 11 is kind of questionable as well, but I'll say from 11 to 2 seems legit. And congrats to you guys for, doing well, putting in the time to build the right team, to use the right strats to get there. And again, if you, think you could potentially do a little bit better, definitely try. Again, it's not going to cost you anything. And just be creative with what you have. You don't have to have all the best stuff to get a decent time. Again, I don't have the stuff like, Honey Elixir and all that to get my SAT all the way up. So I have to I have to use different tactics. And if you don't have what I have, you can use what you have and try other strats to do well. It's not just do one thing and you're guaranteed to be number one. Like I said, it just depends on what you have, and if you are creative enough, you can do really, really well. So I just want to encourage people to at least give it a shot. And if you can't beat it at all, that's fine. But if you are an account that's built enough to be able to beat it, give it a shot and, at least get some rank. Like I said, I'm pretty confident that most players can get at least the top 1,000. I don't know if we even have more than 1,000 players. So again, you're getting pretty much free crystals and butter souls, if nothing else. So there you go. Now it's going to be the end of the video. Thank you once again for taking the time to watch me. I know I'm not like the best as far as like quality. There's a lot of other content creators that put a lot more effort into some of the, background stuff that they do, the visuals, music, whatever. So, like I said, definitely check them out. But the fact that I do like my low budget stuff and some of you watch anyway, I highly appreciate this. So thank you for watching. And until next time, keep gaming and take care, everyone. And good luck.